Hello everybody, this is Cheri at djsundry.blogspot.com, and today I have a card that I am going to make with you, and it's a card that I had a few things in particular when I was designing the card that I kept in mind. The first thing is I wanted it to have room that several people could sign it if I wanted to. I wanted it to have pink in it. I wanted it to be fairly simple but still be a nice card. I wanted it to be pretty and like I said, simple, but I still wanted to have just that element of pop and sparkle to it. So this is the card that we're going to make. So to start out, we are using the Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge, which I've already used and done my cut with. And you can see the negative space in this cut, and it's a flower shape. And again, that is on that Art Philosophy cartridge, and it's the flower shape, and I cut it at 1 3/4 inches because the stamp set that I'm using the C that says congratulations around it, and it says right in here to cut the flower shape at 1 3/4. So it took most of the guesswork out of it. Basically all I had to do was look at the mat, decide which one of there's a couple different shapes that are scalloped around it. I had to decide which was the right one, set my machine to 1 3/4, set up my mat and cut, and I was ready to go. Now that pink paper is from the Whimsy paper pack, and then I'm also using this fun polka dot paper from La Vie en Rose. So that's the basic supplies. Now let's get started on the card. So to start with, I have my white daisy cardstock base, and I'm just going to tell you, I cheated and I already did the inside. So I took a piece of that pink and I cut it at 4 inches tall by 5 1/4 inches wide, and then I cut this strip that was about 3/4 of an inch tall by the 5 1/4 inch wide, and I put it in there, and we're good to go on that. So then we're going to put our next set of layers. So for the next set, I have another piece of pink, only this time I cut it to completely cover the card base, and so it's cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I am just going to put plenty of adhesive on it because that's just the way I like to do things, because I don't want to take any chances of it coming off. And then I've managed to twist my card around. I am going to put that on, making sure that all of my white is covered, and tape it down, and we're good to go there. Now the next step that I want to show you is something I've never done before. It makes me a little bit nervous, but we're going to try it. I took the next piece, which I cut at like the inside pink, I cut it at 4 inches by 5 1/4, and we're going to work with that piece next. But this is where the sparkle comes in. You see here I have some sparkle tape. Now this particular tape is from American Crafts. I don't have these colors in my Close to My Heart shimmer trim. So what I did is I took these are about a 1/2 inch wide. I took the pink and I hand cut down the middle to make it narrower, so it's about 1/8 of an inch wide, and then I pressed that down over the top. Now what makes me nervous is how well that adhesive is going to stick to the white trim. So because you can see it comes up very easily, but I'm hoping that once I quit playing with it and peel the backing off and get it flat on my image, that it's going to be okay. We will see. Now the reason I am putting it down before I tape it to my piece of paper is because I want to be able to trim it flush. I just find that it's easier for me than trying to make sure that it's cut just exactly right. I just feel like I get a cleaner, crisper edge if I put it down and then I go back and trim it. That's just how I do it. Okay, so now we have that, and I cut that just a little bit. I think we're going to be okay though. Actually, what I think I'll do, since I made a mistake and cut it, which I don't think I've ever done that before, that's bizarre, but we're just going to trim that little bit of an edge off. So it'll take a little bit off of our width, but I don't really think that anybody's going to get a tape measure and measure if it's the exact same all the way around. And it's going to be so close, I can just take a little tiny bit and trim it off the top so that it looks even. But it's going to be so close, no one I don't think would ever even notice. Now it looks like right now that that's going to stick down really well. And I'll tell you, if it doesn't, I will put a slide at the end of the video if after I take it tomorrow and let people sign it. If it starts separating, I will put a slide at the end, in which case it would just be the white. Or perhaps I'll put another row of pink. I don't know. But hopefully it's going to stay, and it seems like it's going to. So I'm cautiously optimistic. So now I'm going to take, again, my tape, and I'm going to just glue or tape around it. And believe it or not, we are already almost done with this card. I want to make sure I put it on there right, so that's open, because I want my little shimmer trim to be at the bottom. And I wanted plenty of the pink to show around, and plus I'm not putting a lot of artwork on the front of this card, so I didn't need as wide of a space, so that's why it's cut so much smaller. So actually, I believe that I told you I had cut it at 4 inches by 5 1/4, but that is incorrect. I cut it at 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches so that I would have a nice bold pink border around the edge. So now for my final piece, now I've already pre-stamped this. This is the back side of it. This is the stamp that says congratulations all the way around. I stamped this using VersaFine black ink, Onyx black. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, and I want it just kind of in the corner. That's all we're going to do. Now let me look. Do I want it down there? No. I want it in the upper right corner. And to add a little bit of dimension, I pulled these dimensional glue dots. These are these pop-up relief ones. So I pulled those. I pulled 2 out. We will see if we need to. You could also use foam tape if you wanted to. I just decided to use something different than I normally use. I use foam tape a lot, so let's mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to put this here. Now you do have to be careful with these if you're milling them. And actually, let me go ahead and put a third one on there. The reason you want to be careful is because they don't go through the machinery very well at the post office, and so the post office doesn't like it. So if you're mailing a card like this that has extra dimension, you're probably going to have to put some extra postage on it. And then the other thing is you're probably going to want to write hand cancel only on the stamp. That just gives it that little bit of extra dimension. Now, like I said, this is nothing spectacular. It's fun. It tells somebody I'm thinking of them, and it has a little bit of sparkle and shimmer, but at the same time, it's very simple. And sometimes, for some people, simple's best. And for me today, simple's best. And I just really like that simple congratulations that it shows out there. So thanks so much for stopping by today, and remember, take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.